Were you jamming out going, whoa, what's with that boo 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 bass? Yeah, I'm in the kitchen. I need to make something. I need to make something to eat. I should eat something. I don't. It's not hungry anymore. Who can eat at a time like this? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make myself pow. I make myself my hot dogs that I've been waiting for. How's that look? No, actually, I like it with that additional lighting. Throws a lot of orange, though. It's very incandescent. If you were someone that was into growing flowers, they would love it, this light. But, and it's just a regular light bulb. It's all about temperature, you know? Everything's about temperature. We have a knife. How sharp are you? Yeah, we'll run you through the edge of her. Let's see. Can we wipe on that? This is a wonderful little knife sharpener that it's weird because the guy didn't like it. He's like, I hate that thing. Gave it to me, right? It's like, I don't know what happened, but he didn't like it. And all you have to do is just with the weight of the blade, kind of roll it back and forth. There's these little diamond guys, and they rotate as you roll the blade back and forth through there. Oh, and oh, wow, man, you can get like the edge of all edges on these puppies. I think we're good. Oh, yeah. I used to think it was pretty good before I realized that the little diamond wheels in there are supposed to rotate when you drag across it. Once I figured that out, then it was just like, oh yeah. I mean, this is so sharp right now. I could demonstrate by, making myself bleed, but that would be pointless. Anyway, so we got some food prep. I should make my rice, get my rice going for tomorrow. And it's like, I was thinking about the Sabbath and, how it was a day of rest, right? On the first Sabbath, the Lord rested from all he made and created. So, and like, you can go take a look at that, and see what that means, right? And I mean, okay, here we go. I put, some people don't like ketchup on their hot dogs. I like organic, unprocessed ketchup on my hot dogs. They're called tomatoes. But like this knife is like, and this is actually going through fairly easy. I know it seems it's sticky is what's going on, but this is in the supermarket. If you get any tomatoes that are really firm, especially Romas, you'll notice it on. What has happened is they actually picked them when they were green and then let them ripen up after the fact. So it's like, oh man, if you could just see how this is just going through this tomato here. But again, I like tomatoes on my hot dogs because I'm a Chicago boy, and that's how we do it. All right. First step, slice tomato. Next step, into quarters or halves actually. All right, so we got that. And I'm just gonna cover this guy up. Throw him in the fridge. Next, we'll get some onions for down there. I really should be using a bigger cutting board, but I think this one will be fine. Get me a slice of onion. Onion. Okay. Next step, minced onions. This cutting board is way too small. It's a good thing my knife is as sharp as it is because those onions would be flying everywhere off this thing, but we're doing all right. We can manage. See, this is what it would like back in the day when you could have like van life, which I guess is going to come to an end, huh? Imagine that, no more van life because it would be illegal. I should be showing the cutting board, right? Wow, woo. See, I'm a smart ass though. I would do something like I'd have a little squirt bottle with like red juice in it and, sit down here going, oh, start squirting the juice all over everywhere. And your guy's like, oh, go. And then there'd be some people that would laugh. They'd be like, serves him right, false prophet. All right. It's funny, isn't it? The false prophet that got everything right. Kind of interesting. Kind of sucks. But what can you do? My goodness, you can, with some skill, turn a very, 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 very tiny bit of food, into like, I mean, this was one slice of onion that we did here, okay? Maybe a quarter of an inch thick. And it's like, see, this is how it works in a restaurant, right? How many hot dogs do you think I can put all those onions on? And that's how it works. When you're making the food yourself, well, it should be cheaper, right? But the point of even making food is not to make food. It's a fellowship time. Like when the pandemic went through Italy, oh man, I was just thinking to myself, I'm going, how many grandmothers their ways have failed them. See, because in Italy, grandma didn't, they gave out some of the recipes, but some of the things they kind of kept secret, right? And it's like they wanted you to come to grandma's. Or the thing is worse is maybe you knew how to make it. You had the recipe, but nobody could make it like mama, right? And so, that the pandemic impacted our culture and our lives in ways that we can't appreciate because it happened at a spiritual level, right? You can call it fear, you can call it common sense, but okay, you. I'm ready for you. Come here. Stupid fungus gnat. That's what happens when you have plants in your house. You're trying to make something to eat. Bugs will find their way in there. And anytime you have wet soil, like a lot of wet soil, fungus gnats will find their way in. They like to eat up the roots. And you gotta keep tabs on them because they can get out of hand and start wrecking some stuff on you. So. But there you go. Gee, that's about how much I feel like eating right now. What did I eat? An onion ring? This sucks. You know what it is? I deserve to be burdened with what I am, because probably the way that I treated a lot of my teachers when I was growing up. It's like they were just with a passion, knowing that like I got to get this kid on the right track or he's screwed. And the way some of them went about trying to do that was really creative. Okay? I mean, really creative. I got no water. I gotta wash rice. How much rice do I got? Damn this thing. That's it. I'm done with you. I don't know what it is with this lid. I keep setting it You heard it snap, right? I come back and it's open every time. There's, I don't know. The only thing I can do is put a camera on the thing, right? Broadcast it on YouTube. The mysterious, yeah. But what happens is, see, then again, any open food in your house, something can find it. You know, you'll get pantry moths. You know, you're looking in here, and then it's like, you know, you open this up, and all of a sudden, all these little guys come flying out, and then you got to look, and it's like, is that a rice grain or a worm? You know, so but there you go. All right, let's see. Hopefully, I got 2 cups here. There's one. All right, did we make it? What the hell? See, you don't want to eat in my house. Look at that. Guess where that came from? I can't wait to shave off the beard. Having one like this is kind of weird. People think I'm Abraham or Moses or whatever, or some kind of scam. All right, here we go. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We measured just right. So we got 2 of those. I need to go wash this now. This thing. I gotta go wash my rice. I'll be back. Okay. I have washed rice. It's really weird. It's kind of like, isn't this like when you wash it? Isn't that what horchata is? When they kind of wash the rice and make a drink out of it. So it's like in one part of the world, it's delicacy, in the other, deadly poison. It's crazy. All right. And we need to fill that to the 2-cupper mark. And we'll get that steaming. And this is supposed to be for tomorrow, but I'm a rice fan. There's no telling. Rice is nice. Just gonna get you out of the way here. All right. Rice is steaming. Let's see. Buns. Only thing to do now is to get them hot dogs cooking. Let me see. Maybe I need something to drink. Yeah, it's too bad. We could be like jamming out to some music or something, but we can't. One of our greatest gifts is how we make money. So we can't give it away for free because nobody appreciates it. All right. This is the cutting board that I should have used instead of using this little one here. Look at that nice stains on there. It looks great, doesn't it? I remember when I was a kid, I used to work at a place called Ponderosa. And we had to do that every night. That was like the last things when you were shutting down. Was probably like one of the very last things was to get the cutting boards cleaned, and then you threw them into one of the big sinks with like, I don't know how much bleach went in there, man, but it was like a lot. It was like swimming pool. It was just to, kill off anything that was cutting boards. But and then we would start making mushrooms for the next day, which was really crazy because you took a 4-pound block of butter? Is that 4 pounds or 5? What is that? Is that a 5-pound block? I don't know. Like a big thing of butter, right? One whole one, and you just threw it into this thing. And so it was just like mushrooms just dripping, soaking, and the mushrooms, as far as like washing them or whatever, man, they didn't do any of that. They just right out of the package, right into the thing, Yeah. Sometimes you eat a little dirt when you're eating mushrooms, it just kind of happens that way. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do these hot dogs on this cutting board because it's so damn tiny. But I need to get some slits on these. Here's the hot dogs. Here's the cutting board. We can go in an angle. We can probably pull it off, right? We'll be fine. I've encountered worse tragedies in my life than a short cutting board. got to get some slits on the sides of the dog so it can, open up. And then, so then the next thing we do is, since we're going to do it stovetop, got to get some pre-lube into the pan. Me, lard. Fat of the land, baby. All right. And get that cruising. So, coconut oil, by the way. For those of you who barfed and got off the channel. Oh my God, I would eat lard like that. I saw there was a recipe for like a lard sandwich on toast with onions. It was like lard, a thin slice of onion, and maybe butter or something. No, it couldn't have been. No, it wouldn't have been lard and butter. That makes no sense. It was weird. And I mean, I don't know. The guy, of course, it's, this is one of those girl guy videos on YouTube, of course. And the dude he's saying, I don't know, man. I don't know if I really want to eat this, but he's trying all these different, weird recipes from days of yore. And yeah. All right, so let me get some slit here. Oh yeah. That's just like gliding through like cake. Get out of here. See, now that I got a knife in my hand, my little fly will come back and pester me. And then I'll swing the knife around and end up, cutting something I don't want to cut, right? And these are beef hot dogs. The good stuff. Boy, this is difficult, man. Managing on this little cutting board. But yeah, homelessness will now be outlawed. So van life and people, kind of skimping along or whatever, I guess they're going to get themselves in trouble, right? Oh yeah, there we go. A million little cuts. Like so. I don't know if you can see them. But that's how we do it. And then we'll, kind of smooth the grease around a little bit in there, You never saw a cooking show like this before, did you? Yeah, but the first Sabbath, he rested from all he made and created. And like what was made was peace, and what was created is calamity. So it's kind of like when the Lord rested. See, we're his body. So it's kind of like we weren't supposed to do anything. Our works, you know, we can do his because he never stops working. So my question would be, what is the casing made of that the beef is in? Did they jack it up and use a pork casing to put the beef in? I wonder. Think it'll tell me? For maximum freshness, use entire contents within 7 days after opening. I've done that. Uh, Salt, corn syrup flavorings, dextrose. It says Calogen casing. So that's what you would need to know. Where is calogen from? Caloge. Kind of sounds almost like college. You're going to learn something. Bowl. See, and now this little bag, this plastic bag is going to get washed. I'm going to wash it out and let it dry. And then I'm going to take the plastic and I'm going to smash it and compress it into a bag like this one, so that I don't throw it into the earth, because I feel absolutely just, I don't know, horrified at how we treat the place. You know, I mean, we've jacked it up really quick, you know. Plastics in the ocean, that's just like over the past, what, 50, 60 years, maybe 100 years or something. Made from the hide of cattle, edible. They wrap my hot dog in cattle ass. Oh boy. Yeah. Hot dogs, hot dogs. Lemonade. But the first Sabbath, you know, the Lord rested. It was like that was it. He could say, "I'm done." Nothing happening. What did you just walk in on? Is that Na or Ra? Yeah, this lemonade. But the first Sabbath, he was done. It was a rest between good and evil. Everything done. And we restarted it. And then comes the process of trying to correct it. After he made earth, yeah. See, everybody says Jesus, and it's like you can't think of Jesus as like, I realize he came in the flesh, but you almost can't think of him in that way. You have to think of him as a completely spiritual being. As soon as you start thinking he was a man, and then how much of man was he and half God and whatever, the same thing that he was is exactly what you are, a pile of dirt with a spirit inside. You know, his teachings about overcoming the earth and everything was just through the Sabbath and having all authority. All authority was given to us in Genesis 2:29. Go, do, rule over everything. And then if you want to go even past that, you got to look at the times of Noah, because in the times of Noah, it says something that implicates us in there. It says, the fear and dread of you will be upon everything. Well, then how is everything supposed to serve the Lord if it fears us? We basically were given, we have all authority. We've been given it already. What we do with it is our problem. We don't realize, our responsibility, I guess, that we're responsible. I do. Like I said, it's very troubling, to come cruising in at the end of 2,000 years of people being like, looking at the sky, right? He was fully human and divine, in my opinion. So are you. So are you. You are divine, because lacking the spirit that's inside of you, you're a bag of dust. You're nothing. That spirit of life, that's what, if you can't conceive that lacking a spirit, that you're just dust and don't exist, you're never going to understand that whole man was formed from the ground. Then he breathed his, so man is like dust. What makes us alive and all of that, there's a spirit in there. It's in everybody. The very same one is inside of every single person that lives and breathes. It's just oriented in one way or the other. But because that spirit belongs to the Lord, he uses it for his purpose, whichever it may be. So that's why Paul said that. If we live to the Lord, we live to the Lord. If we die to the Lord, we die to the Lord. You can serve the Lord for purposes of good, but you can also serve the Lord for the evil that he needs to happen. Don't forget, he has meetings. He doesn't get involved, though. He says, I need evil to be done. Ahab's got to fall. Who's going to go? Who will go? I'll leave it up to you guys. You discuss it. I'll be right back while I take care of these hot dogs. And that's what he does. He walks away and says, here, I've told you what to do. If you do that, I can then bless you as I have said. If you won't, then I have a difficult time blessing you because you're, you know, I live and move through you. So if you're not living and moving right, you're going to feel that pain. That's our relationship with our God that we don't understand. We picture somebody somewhere else over there, right? It's not how it is. I'm the only guy talking in chat. Nah, the other one's just a drone. Gets in there and, sends code in the background back and forth, hacking at things, trying to see what the hell he can get out of my phone. It's, yeah, that's the world we live in. I'll keep going as long as I can, but my heart's getting hard, and I'm about to say the hell with it. It's like I just have to realize that. All right, that's where it gets tough, right? People say God can do this, God does that. God has no body. He has no physical form except for the one that you're looking at right now. Or go get a mirror and look at that. We are his body. And if we're not doing what he needs, he's out of control. But he demonstrates himself through even irreverence. The promises that we get are promises of curse. They're still promises, which means he's just and true and righteous and so on. It's a tough street we walk on. Lady wisdom all up in our face. Oh, those are looking good. Hey there. Whoop. Splitting all open and everything. Get in there. What else should we put on these? Got tomatoes and onions. Could put some cherries, make like a cherry salsa in there with the onions. Could actually make like a mustard, onion, and cherry. Yeah, but I don't know if that goes with tomatoes. It sounds weird all mixed together, but then when you don't, it actually tastes good. All right, so the rice is done. All right, rice. Rice-A-Roni, the San Francisco treat. What the hell did that have? What did San Francisco have to do with making food in your kitchen, right? Rice-A-Roni, the San Francisco treat. I don't know. Sounds crazy. Poof. A little bit of steam there. Ooh, that's hot. How did rice turn out? Fluff them up a little bit. Oh, yeah. Beauty. They're not nice. And this is for tomorrow. Make some fried rice. I should stop at the store and get a bag of like frozen peas and carrots, and you make your fried rice. You throw that in there, and it makes it pretty easy. Hot dogs. Oh yeah. These are crisping up on the outside. They're turning nice and brown. Yeah, yeah. India, it's hot. I wonder if in like a Chinese food restaurant, you know, like the Real Deal, if they're making their if when they're making their rice, if they're making their fried rice like flat out like the same day from rice, like that day, right? Or are they using old rice? Day old rice, like the rest of the world. I mean, because, you know, I don't know if you've ever looked back into the little kitchen or whatever, if you've ever even seen a Chinese restaurant, but like that guy in there, he's working behind this giant kettle. You know, he's got this giant kettle in there that's like, you know, this thing will hold like 10 chickens all at once, you know, cooking. Yeah. Shh, don't tell anybody. Look at me sneaking a spoon of rice. And, you know, and you got to put some S&B on there, right? I mean, they call this in Japan, in Japanese, it's called shichimi, but 7-spice. Bon appetit. Needs a little soy sauce. There you go. That's perfect. Nice rice, because that's yeah, this rice here, this is like the Philippines. You're eating with your hands. All right. Hot dogs are looking fabulous. If I was in a gas station, if you've ever seen hot dogs in a gas station when they're on that little that little roller thing, and they're just kind of spinning there forever, that's what these look like right now. And they're going to be good. Do we have evidence for God in science? people keep asking these questions. My question to you would be is what is God to you? What do you think God is? Is he like a person? Is he just like a spiritual electromotive force that's like gravity or even air, just surrounding us and enveloping the entire creation? What do you think God is? What is your, how do you see God? What do your eyes see? If I said, look, there's God, what would you do? What would you say? Would you go, he can't be over there, he's everywhere, or would you go, what, where, and then look everywhere, or what? So it depends on what you perceive God to be. To me, God is the end result. He's a spiritual force that results in goodness and light, right? And so in that kind of a way, I have to take things that manifest, right? Like, that's what it means. When the word is made flesh, it means that a spiritual thought, a bunch of words, things in here actually transition from up here as a plan to coming out of your hands. That simple. And so with that being God, how does science get involved? To me, God's a math equation. 0 times 0 equals God. And for the benefit of an invisible God that nobody can see, you can't look at him. As soon as you see him face to face or whatever, apparently you're dead. So you couldn't even come back as a witness. You could come back as a dead man. But 0, right? And so then what do you have? So I got God and then spirit. And then we put those two things together, spirit times God, or, times God, the Father. And what do I have? That's God. That's God and spirit. That's the us in Genesis. It depends on what you think, what you see God as. Some people see God as some type of overbearing force that can do anything that he wants. And he can do great things, but he can't do anything that he wants. Because as soon as he turned on me or you and did something bad, he would no longer be a good and benevolent and just God. So he's restricted. The only thing he can do is whatever you bring upon yourself. He gives you the desires of your heart. It's not temptation if you've asked for it. If you've asked for it to do evil, it's kind of like, you have made the choice that that's what you want. And that's what you're going to get. He has no, he doesn't stop us in that manner. All right. Get a little burn, just a bit. I think these are about ready. And then I'll commence to stuff in my face full of hot dog. So I got onions, tomatoes. I just need some mustard. I don't know if I can do this, but I think I'm going to try. I'm going to cut one of these hot dogs in half because I've got 4 buns here. So I think I could cut one in half and then just stuff it full of fixins, right? And then I can eat 4 hot dogs. 2 made into 4. Throw the buns in the microwave. Turn off the fire. Oh man, yeah, bread in the microwave. It's like instant bakery. All right, onions, miserable fly, tomatoes. For the people with the juice in the mustard, here's what you do: squeeze the mustard, seal the cap, give it a shake, and then when you pop the cap, it will suck all the mustard back into it, and you won't wind up with pouring water all over your food. You heard it first, right here. All right, here we go. Mustard. Doggone it, you folded down in there. What happened? There's one. And these are some of the cheapest hot dog ones ever. And I don't know what is going on in our world with bread, but like the stuff doesn't get hard anymore. It doesn't get moldy anymore. When the hell are these buns from? Here, these are from, is there even a date on here? I don't even remember when I bought these. I bought these with the hot dogs. And then I looked on the hot dogs, and the hot dogs said they were good until like 2026. And I went, well, no hurry there. And I picked them up on sale, saved $1. Cool. All right. Oh, yeah. So I guess my 6-pack of hot dogs can actually be a 12-pack of shorties. Oh, isn't it cute? All right. So you got to get some onion in there. And then you get your tomatoes in there. Now, if this was in Chicago, you'd actually be putting cucumber in this bad boy. And then dressing it with a drizzle of celery salt. I have a cramp right now. Interesting. I just made food and I'm about to be ill. I'm going to take off. I love you guys. Shalom. Shalom.